Are you ready?
Yeah, come. Thank you. Okay. Namaste.
Namaste.
Haribol. And peace be with you. So many beautiful words for peace in this world. Whether you're speaking the English, the Russian, the Arabic, the Sanskrit language, the Hebrew, Aramaic, Spanish, French, welcome. Welcome to
Maria
and Mark's JuicyMagiK
on the daily.
Nice.
Episode 3.
Episode 3. This is a work in progress. So, first of all, thank you so much for tuning in. We're not into the tune in, turn on, and drop out. We actually want you to tune in, turn on, and drop in. Drop into yourself. So, thanks for your time, your energy, your being, and your presence. And for joining us in this community of like-minded people. And we're going to start with a little Gauranga meditation.
Yeah, you have your guitar over there.
You want me to? Well, we'll use the guitar in a little bit, but we're just going to start with Gauranga breathing.
Can you use the guitar?
Oh, okay. Twist my rubber arm. If Maria asks, she gets.
Please.
Okay. So we're just going to do Gauranga meditation. He whose body is more beautiful than molten gold. It's a reference to Lord Chaitanya as well as the Supreme Person. And it's like a beautiful bubble of sound around you. So we're going to 4 syllables, Gauranga, Gauranga. And we're going to breathe in. Actually, you know what? I'll say and sing the word, the name Gauranga. And then Maria will repeat. And I'll listen very intently.
Oh, so you want to do a kirtan?
Yeah, we'll do a little kirtan to start. Why not?
So that's the kirtan.
Yeah, we're going to do a kirtan. Kirtan is the process of wherever 2 or more, one of our favorite teachers, Jesus, Yeshua ben Yusuf, Emmanuel Mishaps of Bethlehem, Nazareth, he said very wisely, and he often quoted scripture too, of course, but so I'm sure it was said before by others. Wherever 2 or more are gathered in my name, there I am between them. So the beautiful thing about kirtan is we chant God's names, and in the more the merrier. But you only need 2 for a kirtan.
I'm happy with 2. Yeah.
Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Hearing, remembering, and chanting the names of God is the first 3 steps in sadhana bhakti, in devotional service. So here we go. Gauranga. That was the kirtan part. Gauranga. Nice. Haribol. Gauranga. And you can sing with us. Gauranga. Gauranga, Gauranga, Gauranga.
Gauranga, Gauranga, Gauranga.
Haribol. Gauranga, Gauranga, Gauranga.
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 Gauranga. Bo.
Hi, Bo.
So that's
it's really nice that you make it fast, you make it slow, you make it loud, you make it quiet. It can be everything. It doesn't have to be so serious.
well, the nice thing is that, I mean, it's just a taste. So thanks for enjoying the taste of the holy names. They're all powerful. They don't require our really having to, other than surrendering to them and enjoying and appreciating being enveloped in them, they really go beyond our own strength. And you know, my body's now 53, Maria's whatever she
50.
is. 50, okay, she said it. I know it's not polite to say other people's ages.
Okay, I'm 50.
We're eternal, we know we're eternal, we're the living entity, but you know, you may know people out there who are hurting or infirm or sick. Sometimes they lose their voice or their ability to speak, or even to see. But science has confirmed, modern science, of course ancient science too, confirms that the first sense to develop in the womb around the living entity, that in the body, is the sense of hearing. Children often remember, or they recognize the sound of their parents after they come out of the womb. So, you know, be really sweet to those in the womb and chant to them. And then also the last sense to shut down before we exit our body, before we leave our body, otherwise known as death. We'll get into that today in the Bhagavad Gita, but the last sense to shut down is hearing. So even if you're in a coma, someone's in a coma, or you know, you're by someone's bedside, and if you live long enough, this will happen. I highly recommend you hear and repeat and sing or say any of God's names. If they have a favorite prayer, like they'll say Psalm 23 or the Lord's Prayer, we chant the Maha Mantra, but whatever scripture that you practice in your faith, or whatever japa, whatever mantra, whatever meditation, whether it's the rosary or the zikr, or in our case we call it japa mala, you can sing or say or repeat those. And you know, the beauty of modern technology is that you can play on repeat these sounds, these transcendental sound vibrations. And at this point, meditation becomes sacred and transcendental meditation, which helps us to transcend the material field. Which, you want to tell them what happened last night when you went out to? I mean, this is a precarious world. We're living in this gorgeous, I mean, these cute little homes that our landlord has built, and he's such a lovely person. We're very grateful to have come to him, and he's originally from Persia. He loves the poetry of Sadi and Rumi. We've invited him to come meditate with us, which I think he will do. And
You want me to tell him?
yeah, this. You know, we like to keep these things lighthearted and fun, but there's also a certain sobriety and seriousness of being in the material world, that at any moment, accidents happen. People leave their body every moment. Millions of people are leaving their bodies. That's just in the human form. So there's probably trillions of people leaving their bodies at every moment. And we just don't know how much time we have I mean, we're eternal. We have all the time in the world, but we're in this current form.
Yeah.
And that's a good place to be. It's a taking off point. So tell them what happened last night.
It was 2 nights ago.
Was it 2 nights ago? Okay.
Yes. Yesterday I was winding in my pain.
Oh, that was awful.
It was 2 nights ago. No, 2 nights ago I wanted to go to the van and get something out of the van. And it was already dark outside. But I thought, oh, we're here already 10 days. I remember the steps. And there was no light. And usually when I go outside, I take my phone with me because it has a nice flashlight. But that time I just didn't. I don't know why.
You just thought you'd wing it in the dark.
I don't know. I wasn't thinking much actually. I just went outside.
I can relate to that.
Yeah, I just didn't feel so well. I don't know. I wasn't thinking much. And I went down the stairs, and then I was like, "Ooh, I can't see the stairs." So I was holding on to the wall that's next to it. And then at the end, I thought I must be down already. Big mistake. I wasn't down already. I mistook the last step, It wasn't the last step. I mistook it as the last step. There were 5 more steps.
That's about 4 to 5 feet high. It's high.
Yeah. And I just thought, oh, I'm there. And I just thought, oh, just to be sure, I hold on to the wall. And I held on to the wall and I wanted to step down, and there was nothing.
And I was inside. I was inside reading some scripture, and I thought.
And then I slipped, and I thought, if there's no step, I will feel it. But I didn't feel anything, and then I slipped, and I just fell down.
It's huge. And I was inside, and I was kind of in a trance. I was really absorbed in my.
And I was lying on the floor, and I was like, "Ow!"
And all I heard was like a thump. Ah! But then I thought I didn't hear anything else, and I went back to doing my thing, and I really thought that she had found something in the van, and that she was, not,
and I was lying on the floor.
She was like, going inside the van and fighting something.
In pain.
And I didn't hear anything from her, so I thought she's fine, And then this person comes hobbling into the house. I'm like, oh my God.
I was lying on the floor thinking, will he come out and help me? But he didn't come, and I thought, okay, I have to go.
I felt so bad. She was actually going out to get something for me to help my toes, and
it's okay.
I felt really bad about it.
So I got inside, and I was just in pain, and I thought I was just starting to feel better after the sickness we caught in India.
In India, yeah.
And I was just thinking before, finally I get better. I start to feel better, and then and yesterday I was quite in pain, and I thought this suffering is not ending.
And in the material world, like sometimes grace arranges for things to actually accelerate our spiritual progress. But in this case also, there's the trip.
What happened?
What?
At night, I had
Yes.
I was in such pain, and I was just in pain, and I woke up at night, 5-6 times, and every time I had this earworm, and the first thing I thought of when I woke up was Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Nice.
And I thought, whoa, and I just kept chanting, and that was the first time I really chanted on my beats at night.
It's wonderful.
So I got this yearning out of the suffering that just doesn't end, to just find something that's more.
Yeah, so and also recently, it's a precarious place, the material world, and one of my teachers, certainly offer all my respects to all my spiritual masters. But one of my teachers, he once said that it's never too late, but it's getting late. And for anyone over the age of 5, as soon as you're born, this process begins. We are born, we stay for some time, we grow, produce some byproducts, dwindle, and disappear. That's the material body. We, the living entity, carry on. It's known as transmigration of the person, of the self. But just at any moment, things can happen very quickly. So, we try to encourage people to take the opportunity while you can, and we encourage ourselves to take that advice as well. My mom, who's turning 87 soon, her body, she's been in there for 87 years. One of her best friend's husbands recently left his body, and then one of my childhood friends from Germany's father recently left his body. In fact, a summer or two ago, we went in to try and visit him, and I really wanted to give him I wanted to do a little chanting with him and give him a little bit of some prasadam, some food that's been offered to God. And he was so sick he couldn't get out of bed, and we were knocking at the door, and he couldn't come. And his wife, another lovely lady who I grew up knowing, she wasn't there, so he was by himself in the house, and I never got the chance to see him again, and now he's left his body. So the funeral's coming up. My uncle's going to represent the family. It's in Germany, but I thought about this wonderful text that we read that's the foundation of our practice, Bhagavad Gita as it is. If you get a chance, get yourself a copy of the Bhagavad Gita as it is by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. This particular translation, there's nothing added, nothing taken away, no speculation. It's the perfect scripture to study. And from chapter 2.
Oh yeah, that text is very, very special. I remember when we were reading it the first time. I was just coming back from the Vipassana course that I took.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, I was still a little bit in trouble, after this, all these energies flowing through me after my Kundalini awakening. And I remember sitting at the Vipassana course, meditating, and I felt all the cells in my whole body dying. And when you're in your body and you just, everything is decaying, and you just realize this thing you're in
Meat
is
puppet.
constant decay, and every breath there was so much pain going through my whole head and then my whole body, and every time I tried to push through it somehow, I felt all that decay, and that really freaked me out. Yeah. And it was really, really tough. But when you were reading this text, it really helped me, because you don't concentrate on your body that much anymore, because you realize you're not your body. So I really love this text. Maybe we can print it out and put it on the fridge or something, or somewhere.
Yeah, it's a good idea, but I've sent this passage to my uncle to read at the funeral of my friend's father. And
That's a lovely idea.
I'm also sending it to our friend back in Newmarket whose husband left his body. And yeah, it's a tough world. Everyone's coming and going from it. So first, let's offer our respects. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So from chapter 2, text 20, the contents of the Gita summarized. This is a really good one to memorize. I come back to this all the time. My body's got type 1 diabetes, and it's in a constant state of falling apart. It's quite a miracle that 31 years later I'm still here. And I'm actually really grateful for that, getting sick so young, in what felt so young, because it really forced me to some degrees to my knees, and to begin to really sincerely seek for answers that I could that could give me some shelter. I needed something bigger than me to help me get through. So for 30 years, this practice of bhakti yoga and mantra meditation and reading from the Bhagavad Gita and some other beautiful literatures, and kirtan and good association, and the best association, been very fortunate that found it very helpful. There are days when it's very frustrating to have a sick have a sick body and feel so eternal. Isn't that the case? We're all eternal, and we sometimes we think our bodies can do more than they can, even when we get older. So coming back to this text, I hope that it can give you some comfort and a glimpse maybe into a higher reality that can help us become a little more sober and wise about the nature of the material world, but more importantly and beautifully, the eternal nature of the spiritual world. And I won't read the Sanskrit. I'm not a Sanskrit scholar, and I don't want to butcher it. It's such a beautiful language. This is from the original Sanskrit, and it's transliterated and then translated. For the soul, there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. She is unborn, eternal, ever-existing, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. And there's a beautiful purport here. A couple times a year we'll get together with people to have a little retreat, and we kind of go a lot deeper into these scriptures and into the mantras, and we have some pretty awesome kirtans. But
yeah, but that's the point. When I concentrated on this, my pain got better, and I looked at where I fell off, and I realized I was very lucky. I could have broken some important parts of my body. So I was literally protected. And I wasn't in the mood of suffering anymore. I switched into the mode of gratefulness and feeling the mercy of somebody much greater who still wants me here. He still keeps me here for some strange reason that I don't get. And that's when the pain started vanishing. So it still hurts a bit, but I'm just amazed that nothing worse happened, because it could have. So I felt the mercy and the gratefulness today. But that's just out of the concentration on the transcendental aspect of it.
Yeah, the mantras are not from this world, they're from the spiritual world, so they have all the potency. It's sort of like when we want to clean something, we use water, the cleaning element of water. Water, we don't need to make the water work. It works by its nature. And in order to really, for all the lifetimes accumulated, all the dust accumulated, the hardness on the heart from all the years, so many lifetimes of birth, old age, disease, and death, and then, of course, disappointment, loss, frustration, trying to find happiness out here. These mantras help cleanse the heart of all the dust accumulated for years together, and I'm so grateful for that. That I don't have to do it on my own. I don't have to try and pull myself up by my own bootstraps. I know that's the frontier American value, which I really admire. I really admire the Western self-reliant ethic of externally, building things and fixing things, growing things, selling things. But on an internal level, I think intuitively, every one of us can relate to that moment when you're just about to drown. I've had that happen, or you fall down a dark hole. You instinctively cry out. Often during great times of intense activity, even atheists will sometimes pray to God, So if you're feeling a little tired of this world, or being cheated, or if you're looking for shelter, we encourage you to join us and take shelter of these holy names. It's really nice. It's really sweet. It's very safe and gradual, the process. It's not, there are some other paths and processes that are quite dangerous and can lead to great harm. But this process is at least 5,000 years old, and according to Scripture, it's since time immemorial. But we find it very relishable. It's very sweet. It's fun. We can do it together. We can do it on our own. We'll get into that japa meditation. And to finish off today's, we want to invite you to just hang out with us. There's no certification here. There's nothing to join or quit. And it's very decentralized. You can practice these on your own. Test them out. Give them some time. Give it a go for 30 days. Yesterday I was on the phone with one of my friends in Paris, and I love to help people that I know, and he was having some struggles, and he was really, really happy and grateful to get the Gauranga meditation, which will finish the class today. Not the class.
No class.
Sorry, this is not. It sounds like Van Halen's "Hot for Teacher." I don't feel tardy. No. Just this gathering today. Thanks for joining us. JuicyMagiK on the daily, and we hope to share lots of stories, just of life on the road and of life on pilgrimage and life in what we call the kind of Varnaprast stage of life, which is starting to remove ourselves from the material. So many material activities. So we'll finish today with a little just Gauranga breathing meditation, where on the inhalation we're thinking of the sound Gauranga, and on the exhalation to the length of the breath we're saying or singing or speaking the words Gauranga, the word, the name. He whose body is more beautiful than molten gold. And you can, if you want to, you can half close your eyes. You can focus on the spot between your eyebrows where the pineal gland is, and center of the third eye, as they call it. It's a chakra there. And no hard and fast rules, but you can, you can do a mudra. You can put your thumb and ring and index finger together if you like. It kind of makes a loop of energy. Just relax and breathing in. And obviously on the exhalation, you're going to be relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the face, and just saying the name Gauranga. So breathing in. Sorry, my insulin pump went off there. Thinking of the sound Gauranga, breathing in. Two more times. Eyeball, nice. Thank you, Gauranga. So we'll see you tomorrow. Inshallah, as they say, God willing. Don't fall down the stairs tonight, please.
No, I'm not going outside when it's dark anymore.
I need you to stay. I'd love you to stay for a little while longer. We got things to do.
Stay a little bit longer.
Yeah. So, peace be with you, and namaste.
Namaste.
And we'll see you tomorrow. Eyeball.
Bye.